And maybe that's a good thing considering what you just saw right there. The sea really just swallowed that up.
I would agree with you there.
Oof.
All right.
None of that happening on our coast, though, so that's okay.
No, nothing to report like that, Jesse, but we do have some cloud cover to talk about, as well as still in the mountains, seeing those ominous clouds as we go into this evening. Still holding on to a chance we could see a few more showers, but our thunderstorm chances are really on the downward trend for the rest of today because we're losing the heating of the day, and our sunset will be around 7:51. Once we get past that, we're not looking at any chances for rain activity or any thunderstorms. But tomorrow is a different story. So taking a look from our Mount Soledad camera, you got some cloud cover out there. We see mostly cloudy skies, 75 degrees for downtown. Also talking about still high humidity and dew points for today. So relative humidity value has been elevated. Dew points have been elevated. We still feel that moisture when we step outside. Also talking about some light winds at 8 miles per hour. Over the mountains, you're starting to see some of that sun peeking through. We had more ominous clouds that were building up earlier this afternoon, and that's because we had that monsoonal moisture, and so with the heating of the day giving way to some clouds as well as some shower activity. A lot of this is actually just stuck in the upper levels, and so it's not necessarily falling to the ground. And so when you do take a look at the sweeping radar, you're seeing a lot of that activity is just towards the north of us. They're still dealing with some flood concerns just towards the east of the Salton Sea. We did have a flood warning that was issued earlier today. That was near Palomar Mountain. That was a flash flood warning, but it did expire. So we had one strong cell that moved in around 2:30, and it was sticking around with that warning all the way until 5. It has lifted, and for the rest of tonight, quieter conditions are expected. Now, across the southwest, we are still dealing with a whole lot of moisture. That high pressure system is still around. Everything that you see highlighted in green, flash flood watches, and you're now seeing that extend all the way in towards the Pacific Northwest. This high pressure system is surging that monsoonal moisture. Even some areas across the Pacific Northwest you see highlighted in red, and that's because any lightning strike to their already dry brush could create more wildfires. So an influx of monsoonal moisture because that high pressure system moved a little bit more towards the west. As a result, bringing in a better chance we saw today for our mountains as well as the desert, holding on to those chances by tomorrow, but drying out by Sunday. Taking a look at your 8-day microclimate forecast, we have upper 70s for daytime highs for the coast. That's going to be the case for this weekend, and then also talking about the low 90s. Now you're also noticing the temperatures are warming up by next week. 80 degrees for the coast on Monday, 94 degrees on Monday. That's going to be for the inland valleys. Also 95 degrees for the mountains, back into the 1-teens for the desert, and that's because we're going to dry out for the second half of the weekend into next week. All right. It's the last quiz question that you get this particular prize that you could qualify for. So when it comes to development of clouds, and I actually chose this question, shout out to Evan Narani. He and I love LCL. So what does LCL stand for? Something we learned about when we were getting our certifications and everything. So is it A, lightning can linger, B, lifting condensation level, C, lower core lower, or D, lifting considering lovely? I was just throwing some words out for that D.
Girl, I was about to say, did you run out of fancy sounding terms?
D sounds like something like you'd require on a dating website. And my perfect mate is...
Oh, it's on my hinge.
Lifting,
it's okay.
considering lovely.
All right, so if you think you know the answer, just go ahead and go to our website. Now, CBS8.com/weather quiz to make your guess. This is, once again, you have until 11:59 tonight. You can win a deluxe 2-night staycation at the Paradise Point Resort and Spa in Mission Bay. This comes with the premium lanai guest room plus dinner for two at Tidal. This prize is sponsored by Corky's Pest Control. You get your new weather quiz question every Monday through Friday. The mouth doesn't want to work because it's Friday during this newscast near 7 a.m. Next time you see me, new prize, new month, and we'll have a winner for this one.